been an outside world at all. And one year, when the remnants of the world were little more than cobwebs clinging in the fairies' minds, the seed was handed down to a young fairy guard. "One day, this seed will open," the one before her said. "Our home will be destroyed, and we shall be forced to flee." The young fairy was terrified. She loved their home. She loved the mushroom trees, the moss fields, and the great cold lake. What could be better than the world they already knew? The seed would have to be destroyed. First, she tried to smash it, but it would not break. Then, she tried to burn it, but no flame would take. So one night, the fairy carried the seed to the lake and threw it in. The current snatched it up, and away the seed went, past the algae, past the newt caverns, the water beetles, and the bones of fairies long lost. It was still traveling when the fairy turned to leave, a satisfied smile on her lips and a secret in her heart. Down it went, carried by the waters, until it reached the very bottom of the terrarium, where no light reached and nothing grew. Years passed, and there the seed waited as the fairies and newts and beetles above it warred and toiled in the ever-constant gloom of their terrarium. Generation after generation, until the magic ran thin and brittle, and the mold crept in. Until one day, beneath countless layers of soil, bones, and garbage, the flower bloomed and died. 199 years later. 1. A moth from the dark. Ari's wings itched like mad. She crept forward on her hands and knees, fingers sinking into the soil as her pointed ears twitched. With every movement, her wings rattled and itched something terrible. They were only a few weeks away from bursting free of the pale, papery cocoon that had covered them her entire life. Most of the fairies of Terra grew wings, which was odd, since fairies were not meant to fly. Ari had always known that one day her wings would burst free. What she hadn't known was how itchy they would be, and how loud. Even the tiniest twitch caused a ruckus of crinkling and rustling. And right now, they were going to get her caught. Mushrooms 10 times her height surrounded her, their pale brown stalks glistening from another day of mold scraping. Not that it mattered. Most of them would be covered in mold once more by morning, and the scrapers would return, working as fast as possible yet again to salvage the mushrooms from the creeping rot. The mushroom field was dark and quieter than a fairy's prayer, but 4 months of working as a mold scraper meant Ari had her route memorized. Ahead of her, in the heart of the field, lay her true prize. Half-harvested mushrooms, laid flat to dry before the night patrol came to collect them. Food. More than she would get in a year's worth of work rations. Unguarded and, for now, uncounted. Ari's stomach rumbled. Mama wouldn't like her stealing, but Mama wasn't here. And though she'd never admit it, Mama was hungry, same as Ari. A crunch came from Ari's left, followed by a low whistle and a wave of pale purple light. Ari flattened herself against one of the giant mushroom stalks, doing everything in her power to keep herself and her wings still. A guard stepped into view, one hand holding a sword, the other holding the leash of a massive moth. Glow moths had always been the favored work beasts of the fairies of Terra. They were gentle, hardy, and easy to control. This one was particularly beautiful, with a pearl body and great powdery pink wings that cast a periwinkle glow over the whole field. Unlike the moths that sometimes drifted over the city, this one's eyes